When you're shooting with the Blackmagic camera app, there are a couple of different color profiles that you have to choose from. There's Rec.709, Rec.2020, P3D65, and AppleLog. If you don't have an iPhone 15 or higher, AppleLog is not an option. So some of these affect the gamut, and that's going to be your brightness, your detail, and your highlights and shadows. And others are going to affect the gamut, which is the color space. Rec.709 is the equivalent of a point-and-shoot color profile. It doesn't require any color grading, any post-processing, other than you editing the footage. Rec.2020, I'm not going to get into for the sake of this video because that's an HDR profile that requires specific processing, specific outputting. In short, if you've ever watched a short or reel that looks very bright and very crisp, that is HDR. This third one is the one that I was most interested in taking a deep dive into, and that's the P3D65 color profile. Let's first talk about what that is. With P3D65, it's opening up a wider color gamut, which gives you more flexibility to, let's say, if I wanted to change the color of these blue buildings to purple, if I wanted to dial in on just the fence and change the color intensity of that. Technically, it does not affect the dynamic range. As far as the difference between Rec.709 and P3D65, it's more of a color space. Looking at them both out of camera, they look very similar, but you have more color space flexibility in the P3D65 color profile. And last but not least is AppleLog. AppleLog is going to give you a wider dynamic range as far as your highlights and your shadows. And also because it's a flat log color profile, it's giving you more flexibility to really saturate or create a look with this profile. It's flat out of camera. You need to apply a LUT to it. You're going to need to do some color grading to it. For some people, that is the control that they want in a professional setup. In the past, if I used my phone for B-roll, it looked like straight out of camera phone B-roll. But now, shooting AppleLog, I can match that to a Blackmagic camera, a Lumix camera, a DJI, to a degree. There is a lot more flexibility in the color and in the gamma. Something to consider with any of these profiles is the codec as well. Now the codec is going to be how much compression is being added to the file itself. So if you look, you have a list of them. There's H.264, H.265, and then you have a list of ProRes codecs to shoot in. If you're shooting AppleLog and you're shooting in ProRes 422 HQ, you're going to get a large file, first of all. But you're also going to be able to push that look a lot more than if it was a compressed H.264. Why is this there, and when would you pick one over the other? Let's say, for the sake of shooting an AppleLog, you have whether it's a custom LUT or LUT that you like to apply, that you are happy with that footage, shoot in H.264 because the deliverable is going to be a lot smaller. It's also taking up less space on your phone. But if you're going to be taking this home and using this with another project in DaVinci Resolve, and you want that information, then go with the ProRes 422 HQ. There are many times where, it doesn't matter if you have a $3,000 camera and you're interviewing someone or you're doing a story. Sometimes the phone is going to be the B-roll camera that you have in your pocket. So in closing, if you're not going to shoot with AppleLog, then use the P3D65 color profile. In my opinion, it looks the same as Rec.709 as far as it being ready to go out of camera, not needing any color grading applied to it. But if you have to change a skin tone, or if you want to push certain colors, you can certainly do that. What is your preferred color profile on the Blackmagic camera app? Are you shooting in Rec.709? Are you shooting in Rec.2020? P3D65, AppleLog, or ProRes RAW if you have the 17. What have you found with these color profiles? What are the pros and cons to them? Once again, let me know. Love to hear from you. Thanks everybody. Take care.